Hi my seedy friends. Today we're going to be doing something that I probably should have done 5 to 10 years ago, which is showing you how to pot up some seeds. So I don't know why I haven't done a video on seed starting before this. I guess that never really occurred to me that it would be something that was needed, but it is. So here we go, let's get started. So you'll see in the beginning of the video, I used an organic potting mix. Number one most important thing you can do when seed starting is use good soil. Soil is the number one thing. You can use virtually any container. You can use anything you want as long as you have good soil and warm temperatures, sunshine, and good humidity. Those are the big things for seed starting. So you probably wonder, being that I've done a lot of growing and I've been around a few years of gardening, probably think I use something like this, right? A little cup where I can write on it. Well, I might eventually switch to these when the plants are bigger, but I never start them in this. I start the seeds in a cake pan, like so. So you can do cake pans a couple ways. These are just the cheap dollar store ones. They come as a 2-pack. You can get one that has no holes in it, as you can see. And then the second one, I poke a bunch of holes in. And then they stack together. And if you're doing seed starting in a place where water can't drip down and you don't want to make a mess, it's good to have a catch tray. Just make sure that the water don't sit in there very long. So this is my other second favorite thing that I do. This is an old Rubbermaid container. I just put some holes in the bottom. You take any type of hot knife or a fork and you heat it over the stove wearing a pot holder, and get the tines really hot, and then you just pop them into the plastic, and the hot metal pokes little holes in the bottom of the plastic so that they get good drainage. And then I use this old brownie pan that I no longer use to catch the water, and you can see they fit together perfectly. So what I do from here is I water the soil, make sure that the soil is nice and moist before I start. So I put the soil in the tray and I water it, and then after it's well hydrated, then I put the seeds in. So today I'm going to be doing 1 tray of tomatoes and 1 tray of peppers. And what I want you to keep in mind is when you save seeds, for example, this is Romanian sweet peppers. When you save your own seeds, look at all the seeds that you get in just this little baggie. I got this in a trade. Someone gave these to me. And each one of these is going to become a full pepper plant. So, 90-95% germination rate, but for the most part, most of them will all germinate. I tend to plant probably 50 times more than I need. And you go, 50 times more than you need? Why in the world would you plant that many? Because if you know how to start seeds and you save seeds from the previous year, growing extra plants is not a burden. It's not hard. It doesn't even take much extra soil. The way I'm going to show you is very easy. And the beauty of it is you can share these plants with friends, family, neighbors, because if everyone's growing their own food, then we're going to have plenty of food abundance. So grow freely, share freely, and you'll see it'll make a world of difference. People love free vegetable starts, because a lot of people frankly just don't know how to do it, or they don't have the time, they don't think about it in advance. Here in West Tennessee, I'm starting the seeds 8 to 9 weeks early. I was going to be starting them next week, but I looked at the weather, and the weather's going to be fabulous this whole week, so I'm starting them a week early. You can see it's pretty nice out today. It's about 65, give or take. Stay over here, Joy. Come here. Sweet little puppy. I usually have her with me in the videos because out of all 3 dogs, she's the only one that doesn't wander off and go visiting the neighbors. So just to give you an idea, different jars of seeds, you get plenty in each container. So, I mean, sunflower seeds. I'm not starting them today, but you can see it's very easy to grow a lot of excess and then give them to friends and family and encourage them to grow their own food, because at the way food prices are going, only homegrown food is going to be the most affordable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put soil in both of these trays and water them, and then once both trays are watered and ready to go, I'll bring you back to plant them with me. So I'll be right back. Okay, let's get to planting. This is the fun part. So I watered all this soil. I mixed it up with my hands, made sure it was properly incorporated, and then I patted it all down so it was kind of smooth. This is going to be my plant label. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to use this plastic spoon with, it's not a dry erase marker, it's a permanent marker, so we'll see how that goes. I might have to put like a spray shellac on it or cover it with a bag or something. I don't really have great luck, you know, with my markers, but we'll see how they go. But the reason I have this is because I'm going to use this to make my little line in the dirt. And you see, all I'm doing is I'm just making rows. So it's just like being in a great big garden bed, right? Where you're planting rows. I'm planting rows here. So this one is all going to be tomatoes. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 varieties of tomatoes. And then I'm going to stick my spoon in here. Can you see that? Can you see the spoon? I'm going to stick my spoon in there so I know what variety I planted. This variety I've actually never grown before. I got it in a swap called Tomato Berries Crazy Cherry from Wild Boar Farms. Isn't that cool? So it's a yellow cherry tomato. It's supposed to be very prolific. Excited about trying it. So we'll see how it goes. Pour the seeds into my hand. I'm going to do all but about 10 of them. And then I'm going to just sprinkle them down in the little row. Not worried about how thick I'm sprinkling them, because if you remember, I like to plant a lot of extra. They can always be thinned, and probably what I'll do is I will thin them. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to do all in this row. I'll probably thin them into either paper cups or into little, 6-packs, 8-packs, or even larger. And then all I do is just take my finger and cover them lightly. So remember, seeds only need to be buried as deep as they are big. So you can see that these tomato seeds are very tiny, so they don't have to be very deep. And that's it. Now the only other thing I would probably do is I'll probably take a grocery bag or a garbage bag, put it over top of this, tie it closed, and that'll make like a little humidity tent over it, and that'll keep them moist so they won't really need to be watered. And then I'm going to put them in this 1-car garage on this outdoor shelving, because it's going to be warm and they can start to germinate. Now, I will tell you that I've done this same process when I lived in Buffalo, New York, and I do need to use a grow mat. So I have a low temperature grow mat that I keep, and I'll plug that into electricity, and that would warm these trays and keep these trays nice and warm. That's not necessary here. So I'm going to finish planting all these, because I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me plant them all, because it's the same process. Drop the seeds in, cover them up, put the spoon down, and then they'll be all set. And then I'll be back. Okay, well, all the tomatoes are planted. And as you can see, I did berry Crazy cherry tomatoes, which are a yellow cherry tomato. I did cherry indigo rose, which are a beautiful little cherry tomato. Purple Dog Creek, which is a big knobby chocolatey type tomato. Baxter early cherry tomatoes, which don't need staking and they're small and sturdy. And then I did a chocolate full-size tomato from a dear friend Remy, who passed away. And this is one of the seeds from her legacy. And then some Sun Gold cherry tomatoes I planted in this same row because I only had a few of the Baxter. Alright, so I'm going to put these inside and show you what they're going to look like while they're waiting to sprout. Anywhere from 7 to 15 days. Probably won't be that long, but that's how long I give myself because I anxiously await the sprouting. Alright, I'll be right back. So there you have the finished product. The only thing I might do differently is maybe put a bag over it for extra humidity, but as you can see, we're in a one-car garage. It's bright, it's not sunny, it's warm, it's not windy, and I think the humidity is probably going to hold up pretty good. So this is Brenda checking out from the Pop-Up Homestead. This is how I start my seedlings. I've done this every year for the last, oh boy, I don't know, I don't want to age myself or anything, but maybe the last 15 or plus years, maybe more. I don't sterilize the trays. I don't, I rinse them out, you know, they're fine. I hardly ever have damping off. And if I do have damping off, it's usually because the seeds weren't strong enough. So I want strong, viable seeds. So I plant plenty of extra, so I don't usually have that problem. So I would love to hear your questions on seed starting. And then I'll do another one after they germinate and show you how they're doing about halfway through, probably when I need to repot them, which will be 3 to 4 weeks, depending on how big they are. And then I'll do a follow-up video to show you what it means to harden them off, because starting plants from seed, the biggest mistake people make is hardening them off. So you can't just take them on a bright sunny day after they've been in shelter and been babied. Basically, if they've been babied and you just set them outside on a bright sunny day in full sunshine, they will definitely die. So hardening off your plants is vital when you start them from seed. And I'll show you, it takes about a week. You put them in the shade for a couple hours every day, move them back into the shelter, a little bit more shade, outside a little longer, you know, longer and longer, so that it's less of a shock. So anyhow, Brenda from the Pop-Up Homestead. I hope this isn't the first video you've seen of ours, but if it is, check out our other ones. Follow us, like us, subscribe. Sean and I are living in an off-grid homestead in West Tennessee, and yeah, we're doing it. We're putting in a huge garden, and this is the beginning, and I am very excited. Very. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.